Suddenly, a steady flow of progress being made turned into this eruption of opportunities, and it felt like everything that I had plans to do, one after the next, all needed to be done right now. Like 7 days on the calendar had condensed on itself and started looking like one long CVS receipt. It's exciting and intense and baffling all at the same time. Because it felt like all of these opportunities that I'd been working towards for years were finally starting to line up side by side, not one after the next. And naturally, they all have different needs, needs that were intended to be met by different objectives on the task list at different times. I am excited and grateful and stressed, but it's the good stress. It's the kind of stress that comes from growth. Today, I am joined by a friend who is near and dear to my heart, fellow content creator, IRL, life-saving doctor, immaculate vibes all around. My friend Drea, aka Reaper 228.
Hello. Hi, I'm so excited. So my name is Drea, aka Reaper228. I'm a Twitch streamer. As Copa mentioned, I am a IRL life-saving doctor, and let me tell you, it is hard balancing this content creation and meeting deadlines for work. So I'm grateful that we have this opportunity to kind of talk about that.
Ah, First of all, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited. When I was brainstorming the topic for today, which, as you all know who are tuning in, analysis paralysis, um, it just felt like you were the perfect person to talk to about this because we talk about our ideas all the time and how we're so
Yes.
excited to do this thing and go to this place and try this thing over here. And then we talk about all the steps that need to go into doing and going and trying. And it just feels like, at least for me, specifically in this month, in this time, in this season in my life, it feels like so many amazing opportunities are happening, and apparently they all have things that need to be done all at the same time. I don't know where to start. I don't know how we balance it, but we do. I don't know. It's just, and then to your point, you have a full-time life-saving job. How can we start there?
Yeah.
How? Just
So
how?
So I had to recognize, like, if I wanted to do this content creation, Twitch streaming journey, like there is things that I needed to stay on top of, and the first thing was staying on top of my schedule. And so
Yeah.
that's the first place where I start is like, okay, I have my work schedule. Now I have to figure out how all these different opportunities are going to fit into that because work is how I fund this life, you know? And so like I can't be missing work. So
True,
and
true.
so and so I get my schedule and I kind of just like lay it out. I'm like, okay, so these are my days off. These are like where I have like multiple shifts in a row. So I'm probably going to be a little bit tired this day. So like, let's not plan a lot of heavy stuff this day. And so I kind of take it week by week, month by month, and just
Yeah.
like kind of plan out, okay, how am I going to do my Twitch streaming? How am I going to do all of my editing for my YouTubes, for TikTok, IG? And I kind of like come up with a game plan. Now, that's not to say that shenanigans don't happen with after I've put this schedule of like what I'd like to do because life happens, like I get sick or I want to go visit family, like things
Yeah.
have to shift and you have to be a little bit flexible with that. But I think the first starting point is like, hey, these are my goals for the month. How can I make this work with the schedule that I have? And I have time constraints, and so like I have to like stay on top of myself to like make my schedule.
Yeah. So I feel like so I work full time for myself, right?
Mm.
Your full-time obligations are very different. Full-time obligation. Like if I just don't feel like doing it one day, I could be like, you know? And granted, like yes, there are things that I can't call out of. Like if I need to be on set, right? I got to be on set.
Mm.
If I need to do
Yeah.
prep for a shoot, yes, I have to do
Mm.
prep for a shoot. But you can't just easily be like, I'm not saving this life today. Like, that's
Like,
not.
I'm just not gonna show up for my shift, yeah.
And
That's not how it works.
yeah, and I have so much respect for you for balancing it the way that you do, because every time you stream or you film a piece of content, it's like she has all the time in the world. How is she doing it? Where is it coming from? She just worked a 12-hour shift. What is she doing live? But
That's how it's felt sometimes.
yeah, but you never, even when you're tired, and I know you be exhausted sometimes, you never show up tired. You always
I
show up in
I
everything.
appreciate that. I appreciate that because some days, like you say, like I worked a 12-hour shift and I'm like, okay, well, you haven't streamed at all this week, so like either you stream today or like that's the end of the week. So like you gotta suck it up. You gotta put on some concealer, hide the bags, and go live because like you want to do this, like you gotta make some sacrifices. And
Yeah.
so like I do say this comes from like a little bit of a place of privilege because it's just me and my dog. And so like I don't have like family obligations. So there are a lot of things that I don't have to factor into it. Like I don't have to
Yeah.
worry about like, oh yes, I gotta make the kids lunches before I, go live. I don't have any of that. So
Yeah.
like I recognize that I do have a little bit of a privilege, but that's not to say that like I have infinite amount of time where
Right.
like some days like with content creation, streaming, filming, editing, like you do have to kind of put on a little bit. And so
Mhm.
like you can't bring like
Half
what's
of
the word,
you.
like not, yeah, half
Yeah.
energy, because like that doesn't translate well to your audience. Like your audience wants to see you happy and talking about stuff that makes you happy. And so like if you're just like, hey guys, I'm going live, welcome to my channel,
Just
like
did a
that
12,
energy.
won't be here long.
Exactly. Like nobody wants to watch that. And so like
Yeah.
you still, even with the limited time that you may have and like managing all of these different opportunities that are coming
Mm.
towards you, like you still have to like show up as your authentic self and like put forth a good amount of energy.
Yeah, yeah. One of the ways that I'm trying actively to do that now, some I'm still running off of the momentum of what we learned in those panels from TwitchCon.
Yes.
And I'm still I'm constantly evaluating myself, ways that I could do better, ways that I can improve, ways that I could be a better streamer today than yesterday. One of the things that I'm doing is trying a new stream schedule, which so far I
Well, it's
like
working
it.
for you.
Thank you. I-
Because I'm like, I can turn on Copa at 5 p.m., live at 5, live
Live at
at 5.
5.
And so like it works for me because like sometimes my notifications like from Twitch, like I follow a lot of people, and so like
Mhm.
sometimes like my friends notifications can get lost
The
in the
sea, the
list. And
flood.
so
Yes.
the
Uh-huh.
flood. And so like if I'm like doing something, I'm like, crap, it's 5 p.m., it's Copa's time. And so like I know to go see you at those times. And so I definitely think like now that you've adjusted that, like I will never forget live at 5, live
Live at 5. It might be 501, it might be 504. Technical difficulties, they going difficulty. But live at 5. And I feel like I feel like the community, the collective has like really taken to that too, because they'll pop up in the chat and be like, live at 5. Like, we're here. It's working, right? Um
yeah.
so that's one of the things that I'm trying to do, not just like the schedule in the content itself, but the
Mhm.
schedule. So I have an infinite amount of journals, but in this particular, in my favorite journal, it's a task list journal. I have like four of them. They're all the same. um there is a quote at the top. Oh, it was no, it's an annual planning journal. There's a quote at the top of that
Okay.
one that says, claim your calendar before someone else does.
Yes.
I'm living by that now because I understand. I know what it's like to have your calendar claimed by
Yes.
not you.
Yeah.
Um so making sure that that I also share my calendar with other people, that
Mhm.
that is pertinent information. So like my clients,
Mhm.
who I'm so fortunate to have the clients that I have, because they
Mhm.
understand what I'm
Yeah.
trying to grow, right?
Mhm.
So, I mean, just the other day, one of my clients that I've been working with for almost a decade, was like, yeah, send me your stream schedule, your filming schedule, like send me all the things, because if I need to
That's
plan
amazing.
right, if I need to plan a shoot and it's not on those days, I'll do my best to do that. And I'm like, but if you need me to be on set on those days, it's fine. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're considering that, the fact that they're like keeping that in mind means a lot. It says a lot about the support that they have for me in their heart. So
Yeah.
making sure that like, well, if they're willing to like change their plans based off of my like she'll look at my calendar to see,
Mm.
like, before she even sends me a calendar, like a meeting invite, she'll look at it and be like, ah, nope, she's taken, that's her
Yeah.
time. That
Yeah.
means a lot, you know. So
Yeah, and that just highlights the importance of like what we were talking about, like the
yes.
first step to, you have all these things, all these opportunities, all these like, filming things that you have to do. The most important first step, after you have your moment of like anxiety and meltdown, because listen, every week I have this like panic. I'm like, okay, I forgot something. Something's happening. And then I was just like, all right, no, let's go to the
Reel it
schedule that
in.
we made,
Yeah.
regroup ourselves. And so that's why I think that's that important first step that you have to do before you even get to like, okay, now it's time for me to film. It's time for me to go live. It's time for me to edit. Like, if you don't
Yes.
start with that solid schedule, you're just going to be all over the place and like missing important deadlines.
Yes, yes. And I'm trying to be better about that with myself, because I'm very much like, if it's not on the calendar, it's not real. And and my own stream schedule wasn't on the calendar. My filming dates weren't on the calendar, but every meeting I had for the last 72 weeks, that's been on the calendar. They've been very
Nice.
real.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm trying to set that aside for myself
And
as well.
I can't take full credit for this because the reason that I learned this came from my brother who is he's in the film industry, and so like he's always like, send me your calendar. I'm like, I don't have a calendar. What do you mean? He's like, I need to get on your schedule. I'm like, just text
What do you
me.
mean? Yeah.
What do you mean? And so like I've adopted a lot of my practices now because of my brother. Like anytime like I want to have a brainstorming session with him, he's like, oh yeah, just send me a Calendly invite. I'm just like, what is Calendly?
But it makes so much sense, like, having people in your circle that are holding you accountable in that way.
Yes. It's how you get stuff done. It's how you get stuff done.
Now now, Reaper, I don't know if you noticed why I did this, but
No?
at the beginning of the week, on Monday, in our group chat, I posted, "Hey, here's the accountability I need this week, guys. This is what I'm planning to do." The reason that I put that there is so that now that it's out of my head and into your heads, I actually have to get it done,
Oh
because
yeah.
you and Rule and Shar and Reckless and Lion, y'all gonna be on my neck if I don't
Mhm.
do the thing.
Oh
Um,
yes. And then be texting me like, hey, it's Monday. You posted this last week. Did you accomplish the things on your
did you
list?
do it? What's the progress? Yeah, so I'm trying to be better at like, even when it feels like I have a million things to do and I don't know where to start, because I didn't post that list in a particular order of like priority. This is just
Yeah.
brain dump. Hit.
Yeah.
Take it
Yeah.
all. This is what I want to do. Um,
Yeah.
even if I only get through 4 out of 7 of the things on that list, I got through 4 out of 7. And then the other three just stay on the list next Monday. There's one particular part on the list that gives me anxiety. It is
Huh?
a
Talk about
specific it's a specific video that I have to film about the specific product that we talked about at the beginning.
yes. Yes.
And the reason it gives me anxiety is because there are so many good product videos on the internet,
Mhm.
just a sea of them. And I talked about this in the So It's Not Just Me episode with Clarissa and Shar, about how like I filmed this unboxing for a fleet of products that I had received from participating in this Kickstarter, or contributing, not participating,
Mhm.
contributing to this Kickstarter.
Mhm.
And I filmed this multi-camera unboxing, and I was so nervous, but I was so excited to do it. Never published it. Never.
What
Well,
do you mean you never published it?
never published it. And but
Oh
here's
my
here's part of
gosh.
why. At the time that I filmed it, I didn't have the like multi-camera editing experience that I
Mhm.
wanted. Or not the
Mhm.
experience, but the multi-camera editing skill set that I wanted to have that would have made that thing fantastic, right? Talked myself out of it. Now I can do multi-camera editing. Um,
Mhm.
so GG's for like the skills
The
learned,
growth.
right? The
The
growth
growth.
for the growth, yeah. But all that to say, so this thing that I'm working on, it's actually not even a multi-camera um video. It's it's very simple, but like scary simple to where it's like, now make it interesting.
Yeah.
And I've been working on it throughout the week and I'm really excited about it. I showed it to Reckless and he's like, this looks really good. I think you should add this, that, this. I'm like, oh, I like
Mhm.
that, that, that. Um,
Mhm.
but I'm making progress on it. I've already made more progress on this than I did on that other thing. And I'm excited to share that with you guys beginning of next week when it's done.
Yay, I'm so excited.
Yes.
It's so that I think that goes into, the topic that we're talking about, analysis paralysis, because I think a lot of times we get in our own way with content creation because we think
Yeah.
it has to have like laser lights coming
Mm-hmm.
down with like, EDM music in the background, and we
Boots
talk
and
ourselves.
cats and
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
birds and cats. And we talk ourselves out of like, hey, this is like, you shot this, it's done, it looks really good. And then we just get into our own head, is like, okay, what if it's not interesting enough? What if it doesn't get any
Yes.
likes? What if it does? And you get stuck in this cycle of like thinking about it. And in the
Mm.
time that you could have just been, you know,
Doing it.
posting it somewhere, like editing it, finishing it up, posting it to your socials, like you're still stuck in the cycle of like, okay, let me just think about it some more. Is it good? And like
Mm-hmm.
you should always have a little bit of that, but like
Yeah.
never to the point where you get to the paralysis. And I think we, like I said, we shoot ourselves in the foot a lot because I have so many things in my random videos that need to be edited. I have like over 30 videos. I have stuff from TwitchCon. I have stuff from LA Comic Con.
Yeah.
I have all of these videos just waiting for me to do it. And I'm just like, well, last time I did it, it didn't really do. And I like have these conversations in my head. And it's just like,
Yeah.
edit the video, put it out, and see
Yeah.
what happens. Like, obviously make it interesting, make it unique, and brand it to
But
your
see it
content.
through.
But see it through.
Yeah. One of the things that I feel like isn't talked about enough when it comes to thinking about analysis paralysis is knowing when to stop.
Yes.
When is the edit done?
Yes.
I don't need to add more. Like you're resuscitating this thing that's not dead yet, but it's not alive,
Yes.
and you don't need to keep doing all of this. Just let it. It's fine. Don't kill it before it lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
I I struggle with that in certain situations when I'm editing like certain so when I'm editing content like gaming content, right?
Mm.
Knowing when to stop is hard. Like
Yeah.
the sound effects, the transitions.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
what's too much? What's not enough? When I'm
Yeah.
editing the content for the podcast, it's like, no, this is good. I don't know why. It feels different.
You just have like different, yeah. It's hard with gaming because the market is very, very saturated. And so when
Mhm.
you're doing your, filming your stuff for your content, whether it's live streaming or like actually sitting down to film like a YouTube or a TikTok, like you always have to ask yourself before beginning, like, what makes this unique? What makes this stand out? Like, what is going
Right.
to like get engagement, because that's the whole reason that we're kind of doing, like, it's I won't say it's the only reason, but it's like a big reason of why you're doing this, is you want
Right.
people to engage and relate to your content. um and so uh we get stuck in that cycle of like, having to think about that, like, oh yeah, we're doing this analysis, but you have to come to a point where you recognize, like, I'm going to analyze this to death, and it's going to keep me
Die.
stuck, and I'm going to be stuck in this cycle, and I'm never going to move past it. And
Yeah.
you have to internally reach that point in your brain where it's like, I have a vision for this whatever content it is. I have checked off all of the boxes for what I wanted with this content. I think it's unique and engaging. It has all of the things that I'm looking for. Push it out.
Ship the
Because
product.
like if you deliver the baby, like deliver the baby. The mom, the papa, the mama wants it, okay?
Send the child into the world. I
Exactly.
I completely understand what you mean. Like if you don't have those parameters for yourself of,
Mhm.
I want it to have this, that, and as long as it has this, that, and I feel good about it, it's complete. Anything else is just icing on the cake, cherries on
Yeah.
top, little confetti on the sprinkle, whatever.
Yeah,
Confetti.
exactly.
Yeah, a little confetti sprinkle. That's mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um I understand. I think that goes into our what we talked about like task saturation and
Mhm.
reprioritization.
Yes.
Like knowing, okay, there are all these things that I want to get done, right? All these things that I want
Mhm.
to include in the edit, all these things that I want to include while I'm filming X, Y, and Z. Um, but sometimes you just run out of time or
Mhm.
space. So having to know what needs to be at the top, like what are the essentials? What does this video need to have? A beginning, a
Yeah.
middle, and end. Does it need a million sound effects? No. Do you want them? Maybe. Does it need them?
No.
Maybe. Maybe not. Like, um,
And
yeah.
for one of the projects that I really wanted to work on, it was something that I wanted to like. In my brain. I'm trying to like continue to grow my content. Like the videos that I do, I think are good, but in my brain, I have like an entire film studio. I have a director. I have
Yes.
light guy. I have like
Yes.
it looks like movie quality. And
Yeah.
so one of the projects that I was working on, like I had a time crunch and I was like, I need this done by this specific date.
Mhm.
External factors that were out of my control. Like I did my part. Like I had all of the outfits ready, I had my location scouted, I had my plan, I had my vision, I had my shot list. And then I sat down with my brother to kind of like, okay, let's talk about how realistic this is for me. He's like, okay, well, since you don't have a second person, you're going to need this, and this. I'm like, okay, those price tags for those different things are a little bit expensive. Like,
Yeah.
okay, rent it. Okay, renting. Okay, okay, cool. We took one little obstacle off the list.
Yeah.
Then other external factors, I didn't have the most important piece for putting this whole thing together, and so like I was not going to make this deadline.
Yeah.
And then after having that conversation, I realized, okay, this scale of what I want to do to deliver what I see envision in my brain, it's a little bit outside of the scope that I can just do by myself. And so
Mm.
I need help with like delegating and getting a second person to help me film this. And so I had to table that idea until a later point until that person becomes available. And
Mhm.
like that's important about, kind of analyzing your content. Like you want things to happen for certain
Mhm.
things. Like yes, things have deadlines. This was a self-imposed deadline because I was trying to like
Right.
garner attention off of like a event with that we went to, but
Mhm.
realizing like this is something that can transcend that event and can still build the engagement and hype that I'm looking for.
Right.
But to get it to the scale that I want, I
Mhm.
just have to table it for a little bit and until I can have all of the pieces that I need. And so being able to recognize that, hey, I need to reprioritize the next opportunity up on the agenda. I have to move on and put this aside for a bit. And
Yeah.
that's kind of shuffling all of the different pieces that are all like due at the same time, and like you have to like play a little bit of Tetris, like okay, now I fit this one here, move this one over here, boom, okay, everything works now.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in that place of reprioritization, and you said it, delegation. Like, bro, so right now they're like the game is changing, okay? Changes are
I'm
being
so
made
excited.
to the game. And I'm really excited about that because there are opportunities that are coming to fruition that are exactly what I've been looking for. And like I said earlier, they need different things.
Hmm.
So some of them need the same thing, right? But
Hmm.
each of them also need different things. There's a little bit of overlap, but there are elements of things or pieces of the puzzle that I just feel like take a lot of time and
Hmm.
concentration and focus to do. And if I spend the necessary time on that thing, I won't be able to do the other things that I'm hoping to accomplish by the deadline that I have, right? So, and shout out to the power of friendship because I am in the process of working with Shar to like redo my branding for on like on the
Love
gaming
it.
side. I'm so
Yeah.
excited because what I want for myself, not something that's
Mhm.
required by the opportunities that are coming, but what I want for myself is by the time these opportunities are live, I want the branding to be seamless and
Yeah.
solidified across
Mhm.
platforms. I just want it to look good. I want it to feel
Yeah.
complete, right? Um, so that was one of the things that was on my list to get done at some point, and I was just going to do it
Yeah.
myself.
Excuse me.
Oh, you're fine. The timeline has it's changed, and now we're in crunch time, people. So instead of
And
stressing over doing it myself, I'm delegating it to somebody else, paid,
yeah.
of course, um,
Mhm.
so that it's something that's off my plate and is still getting done within the timeline that I've constructed.
I have a great example of this from TwitchCon. Some opportunities arose for a lot of us,
Let's
and
go.
uh, there was like an application, and we all held each other accountable for getting this application in.
Yes.
And there was like I recorded some videos, and I was like, I have everything recorded, but it's due in like 2 days, and I have like 3 shifts in between like the application, and like I need to sleep. I also need to stream. Like, how am I going to get this done? And so I asked my brother. He hates editing. Like, let me like
There's no way.
he hates editing. Let me just tell you. And so I was like, "Hey, it's your dearest sister in the whole wide world. Would you mind editing these videos?" And he's like, "Yes." He edited 3 videos for me within 4 hours.
Here's the thing.
Took
Here's the
it.
thing. What the people need to know, okay? What you all need to know is that every video her brother has touched, gold, diamonds spilling
Thanks.
out of
Like,
the seams. So I'm learning just now that he hates editing. There's no way on the face of this planet that he has the gift that he has and can't stand it. That's
he, I tell
insane to me.
I tell him this all the time. I'm like, you have a gift because you see things differently. Like the way you like
Yes.
edit stuff, like I would have never thought to do it. And he's like, I mean, I'll do it. Like, yeah, like if people ask me to do it, I'll do it. But do I enjoy it? Does it spark joy? No. And I'm just like,
Wow.
that's insane to me.
Okay, but there's also there's like um a lot of knowing oneself to stand
Yes.
in that, to have the audacity to
Mhm.
be great at something and be like, this does not bring me joy. For
Yeah.
you, I got you.
Yeah.
For me, pass.
Yeah.
So, more power to him for for placing boundaries in
Yeah.
that way because
Yeah.
there are a lot of people who are really good at things that they can't
Mhm.
stand and that make them unhappy. And in a
Mhm.
lot of cases, they don't have the ability, they're not in a position where they can just walk away from that thing the way that they want to.
Yeah.
So shout out to your brother because
And
knowing
it
is half the battle.
It is, and like I said, he saved me so much stress and anxiety because like
Yeah.
I worked my night shift. I woke up the next morning. I had my videos delivered and ready to upload to for this application. And like the amount of stress that took out, like I could focus on my actual job of like, hey, I'm Dr. Drea right now, not gamer Drea, not worrying about this application. Like, hey, what brought you to the ER today? Oh my gosh, that application is due.
Yes.
So
It saves the amount of time that we spend worrying.
yes.
If we just took that back, gave it to somebody else, or just did the thing,
Mhm.
I would have so much time back.
And speaking to that point, this whole opportunity that we had recently of, getting that application done, it made me realize that I was behind the game for stuff because like I should have already
Same.
had this stuff ready to go, and
Yeah.
I was just like willy-nilly going through life
Seat
like
of the
why didn't I
pants.
Why did I not have my media kit done? Why did I not have, this content, video already filmed and edited? Like, I had been sitting on this stuff for months. And
Yeah,
it's like, you don't want to get to that point where you're having all these opportunities, like you mentioned, all now they're all on the same timeline. They're all due at once. And if I'd had my stuff together better, like that would have been like, oh, let me just go to my little Google Drive. Oh, yes, application
link
material
here,
done.
bio
Link here,
here,
done.
copy paste.
Yeah, done. And so like, that was a teachable moment for me, a learning lesson. Like, if you were like, yes, you're doing good, you have your schedule, you know stuff that you want to film, you're planning your uploads, but like
Yeah.
you could take it five more steps forward so that you aren't stressing yourself out, because like my job is already stressful enough. Like, I don't need my hobbies to cause me even more stress.
Yes, yes. I I will say, so one of the things that I was really happy about with in relation to that opportunity is that some of the things that I needed to submit, I had. It was just a
Mhm.
matter of like, okay, I need to update this, or
Yeah,
I need to move this from this folder into this folder, change who
yeah.
has access to that folder. Some of the things were already made. And
Mhm.
then there were other things. I was like, I don't have this. I haven't started this. And now I know I need this. Like
Yeah.
for example, an influencer deck. I don't have that
Mhm.
yet.
No,
I'm finna have
neither.
me. I'm finna have one. I have a producer's deck, and well, I have a production deck, and it speaks to my work as a producer, a director, a casting lead, and a voice
Mhm.
actor. I have a production deck, and it's really well put together. I'm really pleased with the way it looks, what it highlights.
Yeah.
I don't have that over here.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get
And
there.
I
Like,
need that over here.
it's hard, like, keeping up with all of the stuff that like makes you successful. And some people, the thing we
Yeah.
have to do is take a moment to pause and realize like how far we are in this process. And like, we could be like talking to just one person, and but you have built a following, you've built engagement, you've built a
Yeah.
community, and so like you're already like 10 steps ahead of the game. So we have to remember that, take a pause and breathe, and realize that
That's
we're farther than we are.
I'm glad that you mentioned that because one of the things that I noticed post TwitchCon, honestly, is that people are paying attention.
Hmm.
And if you're walking in alignment with what you want your brand to feel like and the feeling that you want people to get from it, if you're walking in alignment with the person that you are, like
Hmm.
the then you'll start to notice that people are paying attention. Um
Hmm.
the opportunities that are arising now aren't because I suddenly started doing something different yesterday.
No,
It's
it's
because
just you being yourself and being hilarious at what you
you're
do.
ridiculous. But like
You're a star, a star.
the feeling is mutual because ma'am, for I don't know very many people who get rated by Twitch.
Oh
That's all
my
I'm gonna say.
gosh, I can't. I can't. I can't.
But no, like when you're we have to remember that we're already on the path to receive the things that we're trying to get,
Mhm.
the opportunities that we're trying to seize.
Mhm.
And once once you pop up on the timeline, once you end up in the same room, once you have the conversation, once you're seated at the table, that's that's the missing link. That's the opportunity that I've really been reaching for
Mhm.
is a chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause what I'm doing, there's nothing different about
Mhm.
what these people saw on this day at this time and what my
Yeah.
community sees every time I go live. There's
Daily. Yeah.
those are the same. So
Yeah.
all I need is the opportunity to be seen by the people who are extending the opportunities, creating the programs, developing the game plan, the roadmap.
Mhm.
Put me at the table. I'll change your mind.
Exactly. And I think that it goes directly into what we've been talking about this entire time is like put the content out. Like
Yes.
have a goal in mind. Like you want to work with this brand, you want to work with, this company, and be your authentic self, but start thinking those steps ahead so that like
Mhm.
say you're approached by this company, you've already been doing like, I'll just I'll do an example. Like you want to work with a gaming desk
Mhm.
company, and you've been filming your gaming setup before even reaching out to this company. Now if that company reaches out to you, or you reach out to that company, they can already see the work that you've been doing and be like, hey,
Yeah.
this looks like a good fit for us. And so like you need to set yourself up for success and move past this like paralysis that we get stuck in of like, but what if my content's not good? What if like just post it.
Do the
Like
thing.
somebody, it's gonna resonate with somebody. Like if you're putting your best foot forward,
Yeah.
you're actually taking the time to like analyze what is unique and good about my content and like honing in on that, it is going to resonate with the people who
Yes.
need to see it.
Yes. And every everything that we do, everything that we put out, everything that we work on, we need to look at as a learning experience.
Mhm.
It's a lesson. You have to be willing to be bad at something for
Mhm.
long enough to get good at it before you can be good at the thing. So with this particular video that I'm working on, this particular
Mhm.
unboxing video, I've done live unboxings. Live unboxings are different. They're a conversation.
Yeah.
It's a discovery. Like
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
a whole thing. A pre-recorded unboxing is not the same in terms of
No, you got to get the
process.
angles, you
The
got to get the
lighting,
lights, you got to get the box opening.
I'm telling you, and you can't fumble around on the tape for 10 years. I mean, you could if you're going for like a ha ha ha, but if you're going for like a ooh, clean, nice, smooth,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't accidentally drop the knife and scratch the desk. You know what I'm saying? So like, so, but I'm putting I want this video to be really good.
Mhm.
And that's why I'm putting time, effort, and energy in, like, listening to it over and over again. Like the
Yeah.
thing, I'm taking it through the cycle. But after I put the video out, once it's in the world, that's I'm using that as my be bad at it for long enough to
Yeah.
get good at it. A year from
And
now, that video is gonna look like preschool comparatively because I want to get better, but I have to do it before I can get better. I have to practice.
yeah, that's I think that's the key of being successful as a content creator, influencer, whatever your path is. You have to be willing to look back at the stuff that you've done so that you can learn how to grow from it. Like
Mhm.
TikTok hurts my feeling on a daily basis. Listen, I posted a video the other day and TikTok came back to me and says, "We're not putting this on the FYP because it's low quality, unoriginal content." And I was like,
Mhm.
okay. And so that was a moment for me to like, okay, analyze this. What was bad about this video? Do it better next time.
Mhm.
And so, like, we have to take these moments to, yes, analyze it, but also realize, okay, I need to move on to the next step. This was a learning opportunity. I learned I'm going to do it better next time
Mhm.
and not get stuck there because, like, I could have been like, oh, woe is me. TikTok doesn't like my video. I'm never going to post ever again.
Onto
No,
a
that just
different
like,
platform, yeah.
yeah, that just made me like, I'm mad. Next time, TikTok, got you. Like, I'm gonna square up.
I ran into the same thing with the TikTok that we filmed. The
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I'll
I
I'll
love that TikTok.
I'll link it for the people in one of these corners. Posted that sucker on YouTube Shorts. I mean, YouTube was basically like, "Who are you? We haven't seen you in a minute. What is this?"
Oh,
When I
no, no.
tell you
We're just gonna push this over here.
the next day, like the day after, 2024, the moon had gone up and come back down and then gone up again. That sucker had 8 views. I said, no,
Oh my
delete,
gosh.
repost. Now I think it probably has, I don't know, 24, whatever. But like, the feelings were hurt. It did better on TikTok. It did better on Instagram. Um, but you 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 gotta have some thick skin. You gotta go out there and get your feelings hurt
Yeah.
often.
I look back from like when I first started streaming on Twitch, like I was sitting in my living room in a lawn chair, streaming from
Yes.
my console with like this little tiny webcam. And I wish I could find videos of this. I don't think I saved anything because I was so embarrassed. And but it's like no one needs to see this ever. And then looking back to like how my setup and stuff looks now, like those are like years of progress. And so like
Yeah.
unless you just have like tons of
Unless
cash
you
flow,
got it
like you
like
can make
that.
that happen.
Yeah.
That ain't my walking life, but it's taking me years to get this point. But the reason that like I'm where I am now is because I looked back at that moment. I was like, yeah, I was comfortable, but like, who wants to watch somebody like just sitting in this $10 Walmart blue chair? It didn't even match any of my theme. I had this one ring light that was just like bright
I
purple,
need
and
a
so I
photo.
looked. I don't even think I think Twitch deleted it because we didn't need to see it. We
uh
didn't need to see it.
understand? And so my first stream I did um I was playing the game on the TV. Had the TV hooked up to the Xbox and the piece or the my laptop.
Yeah.
My laptop was on a little laptop stand on the coffee table in the living room. My phone was propped up so that I could see the like the
Chat
live
and stuff.
stream in the
Yeah.
chat. Yeah, phone was propped up on this little glass box on top of the coffee table. Actually, the camera was on the glass box on top of the coffee table. The phone was next to the glass box, and then I had my laptop was my monitor. Then my chair was a beanbag chair in front of the couch. And then I upgraded. My partner got me an actual monitor. Um, and I moved from the beanbag chair in front of the couch to the beanbag chair in front of this green screen that I had. Then I upgraded from the beanbag chair and went to the couch. And I moved the green screen behind like between the pillow and the couch. So people would come into the chat and they'd be like, wow, that's the most comfortable gaming chair I've ever seen. And I'd be like, thanks. It's a couch pillow.
It's
But like, I took a lot of pictures. The reason that I took pictures and kept a lot of the clips is because I envisioned what I wanted it to become. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna look back and it's gonna be like I'm streaming on a cardboard box. And now here I am, and I got a command center. We're working on the command center. I want a full sweep. Okay. Like
the same.
command center.
We're gonna get that big piece that we
hmm
talked about earlier.
hmm
It's going somewhere. I
It's
saw a
going
picture of
somewhere.
somebody had it mounted, and I was just like, I need to find a way. I gotta find a way to get it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Manifesting, manifesting.
Manifesting.
I watched somebody do an unboxing of that, and they did that with a friend that's on the other side of the world,
Yeah.
and they linked them to each other. Genius.
That is insane. That is
Genius.
insane.
Yeah,
See, that's the type of creativity that, makes your stuff stand out. And
yeah.
because, we're sitting here talking about it. And so, like, those are the moments that, to the viewer, you as a viewer, or if you're planning your content journey, these are the things that you need to keep in mind. Like, we're talking about humble beginnings, but like, you got to start thinking about the next step.
Yeah.
Because like you have to be willing to make changes and grow because
Mhm.
I see a lot of people, like whether it's on Twitter or your social media of choice, are like, "Oh, why am I not growing?" And they get asked the question like, "Do you look at your own content?" They're like, "No, I just post." And it's like, well, I mean, you're not going to learn anything if you don't like look at your
Correct.
analytics. Like looking at your analytics is
Watch the content.
like, would you watch yourself?
Yeah.
And that's a question, like, I look back at some of my stuff and I was like, "Oh my gosh, why are you being so thirsty?" It's hilarious, but you're being so thirsty in this
It
clip
was
right now.
I
So,
absolutely love it. I watch my own content and
Mhm.
I think I'm funny. I make myself laugh and that makes me
Yeah.
happy. And I want to make other people laugh. I want to bring joy to other people. Um so if I'm watching my content and I feel like it's doing that, even if it flops, if
Yeah.
somebody
I
gets
made
joy out
myself
of it,
laugh. Yeah.
yes, yes, like, yeah. So I feel you. I the battle to get out of the analysis paralysis and actually do the thing, um, sometimes it requires enlisting some help from the outside because it's hard. I
Yeah.
live with my partner, right?
Mhm.
So if I feel like I'm stuck in an idea or like can't get it out of my brain, can't see it all the way through, whatever, I can talk to him about it at any time. I have the community that I've built with him in the Discord. So if there's
Yeah.
something that like I need I could use some perspective on this
Mhm.
particular thing. We've got our friend group. Like
Yeah.
if I didn't
I send you stuff
lean,
all the time.
look, take it all, okay? Because help
I'm like,
me.
"Okay, help, please. I've been staring at this for hours. Help, please."
Reaper has a channel trailer that I don't think is released yet.
It's out. It's out
It's
now.
out? Oh,
It's
thank God, I'm
yes.
so excited. Okay, she
Yeah.
sent me the channel trailer, and I cried because I was so proud, and
I was sitting there like, "Why are you crying? It's supposed to be funny."
but it was so good, and I was so proud because I knew that it was something that was, like, stressing her out because she wanted it to, like, hit,
Yeah.
and I was just overwhelmed with how proud I was and just tears.
Oh my gosh.
I'm also part crybaby, so there's that. But
I think we cried at least every single day
every
after
day
TwitchCon. Like, it's
for at
been, like
least
I
2
think it's been a
weeks.
week where I haven't cried.
Yeah, yeah. The video that Shar made, the twin video, I think I told you this already. I was brushing my teeth and I decided to watch the video, and suddenly now I'm crying into the toothpaste because it was just so like she put so much into it. It was like so genuine. The footage from you, from Reckless, from Lion, from herself, from me, like all compiled together. It was just full of love. I just love you guys so much.
I love you guys too, and that's I think if I can plug anything else, like with, talking about, analysis paralysis, having a core group of friends that are not trying to, one up you. Like I have found that with you, Shar, Reckless, Rule, every Lion, Lakrita, everyone, and like
Yeah.
having that core group of people that you can send stuff to help get you out of that mindset. Like Lakrita hypes me up so much. Like I, some of the text she sends me, I am just like tears coming down my face. Like
Yes. She sent me a
you
voice note and I
mentioned.
cried again. Mhm.
Why do you cry so much? Why are
I
we
don't
such crybabies?
I'm just I'm so proud.
So like
I yeah.
it helps to get you out of that mindset because like we're so being in this space you have to be critical of yourself and
Mhm.
sometimes we're a little bit too hard on ourselves and it takes that outside person to be like, hey, you've been like perseverating over this for like 3 hours and like it's good, it's amazing, like if you don't post this now I'm going to come to the phone and like pop you, so
Yeah.
like
Two-piece and
send
a
it, do
combo.
it.
Uh-huh. Yes.
And so like finding those people, like I feel like we all just like gravitated towards each other. Like it wasn't like you follow me and I'll follow you back. Like we just
Yes.
naturally wanted to be around each other. And so finding, I know it's easy, Twitch, that social community is part of it, but it's hard if you're like a YouTube creator or a TikToker. Like
Mhm.
it's hard to kind of have that interaction. But like you will find your people. You will, the people who respect you, love and support you will gravitate towards you and help you when you get stuck in these little, I call it the rabbit hole where you just
Yes.
go down and spiral and spiral. You just need a friend to be like, hey, let me just take you out of the hole and be like,
Yes.
you're good.
Everything's fine. Why are you panicking? There's no need to panic. You're doing great. Um, we are really fortunate to have the group of friends that we have, to have made the friends that we have. Um, There, this quote is used all the time, but and I can't remember who said it. But if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Um,
Mhm.
and then like Issa Rae, she said, everybody's worrying about networking up, network sideways. And
Yeah.
I was like, that's it. We at the beginning of my content creation journey, when I would look at the streamers that inspired me and the streamers that inspired them who also happen to be their friends, like they all run
Mhm,
together. um
mhm,
I had this like doughy-eyed, one day I'm gonna be in that friend group because
mhm,
I think they're really awesome and da da da, whatever, whatever. Even if that becomes the case at some point, right? That is not where you find your home. I
mhm.
found that networking across with you
Yeah.
guys. Like, and we're all going up. The game is changing. All I can say is the game is changing for all of us. Um, and I'm really excited about that because prior to all of us meeting, having each other, being able to like confide in each other, hype each other up, challenge each other, me and my brain talking to myself all the time, that's how I talked myself out of posting that multi-camera unboxing. Like,
And look where it is, sitting in your hard drive,
in the
waiting to be
dust.
released. In the dust.
And it's not gonna, because I mean, if I do film a video about those products, it just won't be an unboxing. It'll be just me
Yeah,
talking about how much I love these
talking about.
things. Yeah, but I'm tired of talking myself out of things because I can't
Yeah,
decide where to start, or I
mhm,
can't decide when to stop, or I
yeah,
can't decide what I want or how to approach it. Um, yeah, I'm tired of it. I'm done. I'm over it.
and I think another good way, this is how I approach everything that I have an idea. So I know it's not sophisticated, but I use my phone. I have my notes app, and I have as channel to specifically like it's specifically for my gaming content. And so
Mm,
I have like these are my short-term goals, and these are my long-term goals. What type of videos that I want. So I have my like my top secret plan of how I want my stream to look in
yes.
2025, 2026. So I
Yes.
have that like separate. I'm like, I don't know how to use this software yet, but best believe once I figure it out, like this is how this is gonna work out. And then I also have like, okay, these are the videos that I want to be posting to TikTok. These are my streamer series that I want to put on YouTube. Like I
Mm,
have those goals. And so the next step is after I have written down all of the types of videos and all of the types of content that I want, I have a brainstorming session. Sometimes I'll do the brainstorming session just by myself, or
mhm.
I'll bring in my brother, or I'll ask you, or somebody else like, this is my idea. I know it sounds crazy. Help me make the crazy into a reality. And I love having that feedback of like, actually, this is not crazy. This is just how you do it. Like, it's going to require this, this, and this. Like,
Yeah.
when I tell you that the video that I was talking about, where I was like, I need it done by before TwitchCon, my brother was like, "This is amazing. This is awesome, but you're stressing yourself out because it's here." And you are here, and like you need some help with it. And
Yeah,
so
the tools you have are also here.
are
Yeah.
here and you need tools that are here. So um, it's helpful to have those brainstorming sessions so that you can kind of focus your time, because like we mentioned, like
Mm,
we have different things that we have to juggle. Like I work multiple shifts a week, and like some my shifts, like sometimes during the week, like I could be working night shift 2 days, and the next day I'm like working 6 a.m., and so like my sleep schedule is all over the place. And
yeah.
so like I still have those things that I have to balance. And so having those brainstorming sessions to help me focus on like, this is the stuff that I can get done this week, and this is how I'm going to make it happen, that
Mm,
just helps you get out of this like panic mode of like, oh, this application's due, oh, this video is due.
yeah.
Like it helps quiet that noise. And then another thing that I want to plug is using all of those, the different tools, like we talked about delegation,
Mm,
to like schedule releases. That'll take so much stress off of your brain, where you're like, okay, I
yeah.
post my posting day is Tuesday. Sunday, videos uploaded, release Tuesday at 9 a.m. It's off your plate. Done. Brain space reserved for something else now.
Yeah. And then suddenly you're surprised because now the thing is live and you're like, "Oh yeah,
Like,
I did that."
I did that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I'm trying to find I still haven't found the scheduling tool, like the universal scheduling tool
Mhm.
that I feel like fits my budget and
Yes.
fits my needs.
Mhm.
Um, I appreciate the scheduling tools that are embedded in certain platforms, like
Mhm.
YouTube, for example. Whenever I
Yes.
have the capacity, the time to cut up a whole bunch of shorts, schedule them suckers out for a month. Haven't done that in a while. Haven't had the capacity. But when the capacity comes back and I have the time to knock out 10 shorts, schedule them to go up every 2 days or whatever, it's like you said, one less thing on the plate, something else I
Mhm.
don't have to worry about. I'm every time I finish editing an episode, I post it to well, I upload it to
Mhm.
YouTube as private so that I can schedule it for later, but it's already the tags are done, the thumbnails in, the
Mhm.
description's there, the linked videos are attached, like all things that I don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn Notion. Like I'm knee deep in the world of Notion currently. And that's where I'm planning out all of the episodes. So the stuff that I showed you earlier with like
Mhm.
these are the tags, this is the description, this is the metadata, da, 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 da,
Yeah.
da, da. Having
Yeah.
one central location to put all of that information, that way, as I am bringing the episode to life, I don't have to sit and do it all or have the answers for all of it all at once. I can, when I think of the tags, drop them in. Once I have the
Yeah.
description, drop it in. And then when it's time to upload, it's copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. So I appreciate what I'm able to do in there and the way that I've set it up because
Mhm.
it works really well for this.
Mhm.
The the task now is to do the same thing for my Kobokashi content.
Yes.
I don't
And I
have the
believe in
same
you.
infrastructure over there.
I believe in you. You're gonna work it out, and the next time, like you said, a year from now, when people are still watching this episode, you're gonna come back with a little update video, like, guys, I am like so streamlined, like I just put post and magic happens. Okay, so like I believe in you.
The pipeline from shambles to success, you know? We're working on that pipeline because it's giving
I need that on a I
shambles.
need that on a t-shirt. Hashtag shambles to success.
Honestly, because it feels like I mean, I'm constantly trying to and not in like a hard on myself way, but I'm constantly
Mhm.
trying to improve my setup and my stream. And
Always,
I'm
always, yeah.
I used to look at it like, "Oh, well, I can't do this, and I don't have the space for that, and da 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 da."
Mhm.
And I've kind of pivoted that frame of mind to, "Ooh, it would be great if I could add this. How can I
Yes.
incorporate that?" Like
Yeah.
as more of a puzzle and less of a hurdle.
And and utilizing what you already have. I think a lot of times people who get into
Yes.
content creation and influencing, they think they got to go out and buy every single high-tech piece of gear. Like, listen, ring lights are your friend.
Yeah.
Simple webcams are your friend. Like, there's so much that you can do to make your setup look professional, clean cut, however you're trying to get it to look without like going into debt doing this stuff. And
Correct.
I think a lot of people fall into that trap like, "I need this product," and it's like, you know, I have expanded, like I've mentioned, with my content creation stuff,
Mhm.
but I used what I had until I was like, "Okay, I literally cannot use this any longer because the vision that I have, like, I need to take it to the next step." And even
Yeah.
still, like, I am not fully happy with some of the stuff that I have, but I'm like, I am going to keep to my budget, keep to like what I'm earning from doing this stuff and use those resources to continue to upgrade my setup. But I'm never
Yeah.
gonna like break the bank to give stuff when I can like there are so many like YouTube videos that tell you how to like, oh, how to make your webcam look like a DSLR. Like you got to use
Yes.
what you got.
Yeah.
Okay? So like don't go into debt trying to like make it seem like, oh yeah, I've got this like, streamer studio, and it's like a lot of like things that I've learned with one of the projects that I'm working on. All it is appearance, and like if you
Yeah.
can give that a little illusion of like oh yeah, I'm like streaming from like this massive studio. Like if you give that little hint of illusion, like people are just like, oh wow, this looks great.
Yeah.
And so
And then you turn the
I'm
camera
learning
to the side and you see the washing machine. It's like, oh wow,
right.
how'd you hide
Exactly.
it?
Exactly, like, that's that creativity that,
Yeah.
when you get stuck in that analysis paralysis, you're not tapping into that
Hmm.
creative space. You're not allowing your brain to be in that space because, like,
Hmm.
there are often times where I'm like, I just like sit on my couch some days and I'll be sleeping and I'll wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just had the greatest idea and I'll run to
And
my
you have
phone
to,
and be like, okay,
yes.
I have to like record this right now. And it's like I have all these ideas that pop up, but if I'm like sitting there stressed about like, oh, I need to do this edit. Like that blocks that from happening. And so
Yeah.
like the whole point of our talk today is just like how do we get past that? And like we've talked about schedules and delegation, reaching out to your friends, like those are all critical things that you need to like get out of that space and get to the things that you love, which bring you
Hmm.
joy, which is doing the content creation.
Actually making the thing real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so excited for this project that I'm doing. Like, I'm stressed because I have 16 days to do it, but like I'm so excited. Like I can't wait to show
It's gonna be
people what I've
great.
been working on.
It's gonna be great. I'm so excited for you. It's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be fantastic. Manifesting nothing but greatness.
I'm so
The
excited.
game is changing, Reaper.
The game is changing, and I just have to say that I am super proud of you because like I get inspired by you all the time. Like goes back to that point of like you never know who's watching you. Like I just look at the things that you've built, the opportunities that you've had, and I just sit back and I'm just like, "Oh, my heart," because I just get so
Stop.
inspired by the things that you do, and I'm gonna start crying. Oh my gosh,
No,
it's
please.
been a week. And I haven't cried, and here comes the tears. Hold it together. But I just get so inspired by all the things that you're doing. Oh my
I
gosh,
can
the tears
see
are
it. Oh
coming.
my god,
So
no, please. Please, you're gonna make me cry. You're gonna make me cry.
you have to edit this out. But like that's what just saying like you never know who's watching, who's inspired by your content. So keep doing the things that you're doing because like you make an impact to
Literally.
somebody. You make an impact to me and I'm just so grateful that like we have found each other through this space. And oh my gosh, I made it a week without crying until this day. Thank you, Copa.
Please. No, seriously, like, I really feel like we are the luckiest group of content creators on the face of this planet because the genuine family that we have found in each other is unheard of. Like when I was oh my gosh, I'm gonna meet my best friends and I'm so excited. This is the first time a handful of us are seeing each other and da 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 da. Da.
Yeah.
Well, how long have you known each other? Well, 3 years, whatever, whatever. Well, how'd you guys meet? The internet. It's like it
People are
gives
like,
it gives Timmy
what?
Turner. It feels very, fairly odd what is happening. But I mean, it's so hard to find your people.
Mhm.
And you guys are my people. Like in the same way that you feel inspired by what we're doing, I feel inspired by literally everything you got. Your trailer made me cry at your kitchen table. And it was funny. And I'm laughing and crying at the same time because I'm so proud. I hugged Rule goodbye when she was her and her partner were getting ready to hop on the flight and go home. Sobbed. She's hugging me, and all of a sudden she just feels this shaking because I'm sobbing. Couldn't look at Shar without sobbing. I slipped a letter in her, like a note, into her luggage because I couldn't bear the thought of handing it to her and then having to like let it go and then watch her get on the plane. Like
Like I just have to show this because I keep this on my desk. But the magnet that you guys got me, like I keep it on my desk. I have the card that you guys left for me on my desk because like it just reminds me of of that experience and how inspired I was by everything that everyone's doing. And it just makes me want to work 10 times harder
Yes.
in my own content creation, because if I get opportunities, I want to bring you guys with me, and I'm sure vice versa. Like, I'm not leaving you guys behind. Like, if I got invited to an event, like, I can even say that I did that for
Yes.
LA Comic Con. I got an opportunity to go to LA Comic Con, and I got a ticket for one of for Lakrita, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not leaving people behind when they can have opportunities too.
Lakrita on her stream when she was unboxing all the goodies that you guys got, she legitimately was like, and then I got an email that said, here's where you pick up your ticket. And she was like, oh, this must be for the wrong person. Literally, like, I got an email today about a game that's coming out, and
Mhm.
Shar got a key for the game, told them that she wants to play the game with me and that she thinks I would love the game. And they reached out and they were like, yeah, Shar, she mentioned you. And I'm like, and I immediately, as soon as I got out of bed, I messaged her and was like, thank you for saying my name in rooms that I'm not in, because it means the world. And like, the ability to do these things together. You and Lakrita got to go to LA Comic Con together and celebrate the major dub. Shout out to them for giving you the spot, because you did such a great
Oh my
job. When I tell
gosh.
you, y'all, when I say technical difficulties out the wazoo, off rip, the whole first half hour of the stream, and Reaper carried it like a boss, like a professional, like somebody who does this and only this. I'm sitting in there like, girl, I'd have been sweating. The pit stains would have been spreading, like the anxiety. And you wore it so well. And I told you that right after the
Thank
stream. Like,
you.
girl, technical
I
difficulties
was stressed.
aside,
I was
but you
stressed
did that.
here.
She ended up playing a game that she never plays for the first time
Forever.
live on I'm talking level 1, like, and you were killing. You were literally getting kills in the game.
It
Just
was a
impressive.
amazing opportunity. It's insane. And that's what, like, setting ourselves up for success by, like, putting the content out. Like,
Yeah,
I'm sure I'm sure, like, they looked at the stuff that, like, my hilarious, BG3 streams, or, my Cyberpunk streams. They took a
yeah,
look at that stuff and they're like, "Yeah, let's give her this opportunity." Like, that's amazing to me. Like, and like I said, post the content, because you never know who's watching it. Get yourself out of that spiral, that rabbit hole, that analysis paralysis, because,
yeah.
like, you're only hindering yourself, because
Mhm,
there could be somebody with, like, top 10 ideas, but they're just sitting in their room like, "Oh, I don't think it's good. I don't do
mhm.
just,
It's
like,
not
post
ready,
it,
it's
because
not
it's
right.
it's it's never going to be ready in our
Yeah,
brains. Like, anytime I finish an edit, I'm just like, I could do better. And
yeah.
then I'm just like, no, I'm just gonna post it. And
Do
then
the
it's
thing.
it's fine. It's
Mhm.
fine. You just have
I
to you have to let it go. Release the
I
baby.
an episode for 4 quarter that I edited recently, that is gonna, by now, by the time people are watching this, it'll already be up. There's a cut in the edit that I don't really like, but it's like, it's not that big a deal. I just don't really
Mhm.
like that cut. And I
Mhm.
made the decision to just leave it, because if I open that file again,
Oh,
I'm gonna find 80
you're
more
gonna change
things I want
everything.
to. So I made this, and it's just one like cut. And I didn't really, it bothered me because I just didn't, I just didn't like the transition, right? But it's not that big a deal. Now, old me would have been like, no, I have to get it right. Like, I would have been changing it and changing it and changing it until it didn't bother me. And then I would have rewatched the whole thing again, found something else, change that, rewatch the whole thing. Because every time I make an edit, I watch the whole thing all the way through. Like, once I export it, or once
Mhm.
I finish doing whatever the edits are before the export, watch the whole thing all the way through, uninterrupted,
Mhm.
full screen. Then I make a change, and just to make sure I didn't accidentally delete a scene or whatever, watch the whole thing through all the way again. It's not like I mean, it's not a long episode, but it's not like it's a 5-minute watch. I just left it, and that's okay. It's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay. And then it's okay to also take a break and come back to it. If you find yourself stuck in
Yes.
this, I got over analyzing state of mind, there have been many times where I'm like, okay, I need to go touch grass. Like, I need
Mhm.
to get up out of this computer chair, go outside, go work out, go play with my dog, go watch a movies. And then I came back and I just had like a fresh set of eyes and I was like, I
Yes.
could edit out 40% of this and like I was stressed over it. Like, I mean, sometimes my go touch grass moment is a little bit prolonged. Like, there was this one video that I edited of like Elden Ring stuff, like an Elden Ring fight. I had it. It was like a 2 minute video, and I was like, oh, I can't get this down to like less than 1 minute. I took I left it alone for like a month. Came back, and I'm like, this can go. This can go. Get
It's
rid of
done.
this.
Yeah.
It's done. And then I got it to like 45 seconds. So like
Yeah.
sometimes we like we said we're our own stumbling block and sometimes you just need to step away to get out of that rabbit hole and then come back to it with a fresh set of eyes.
You didn't lie. I feel like when we get so zoomed in on the thing, we miss everything else that's going on. You really have to look away and then come back
Yes.
to it. And then
Mhm.
you just feel this different set of decisions being made.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah.
Because you let some of that pressure go. You took a
Hmm.
break. The power
Yep.
of a break. Whether or not your
Yes.
break is a day or a month, whatever you need is what you need.
Or a year. Or a
or
year.
or 10, whatever. You can't rush wine, okay?
Yeah.
You can't.
Not
That's
the
not a
wine.
process that you can just expedite. I mean, maybe, today with the technologies that we have, but should it be expedited? No. So, you know.
Sometimes there's a beauty in just like taking a pause and resting.
Mhm.
And you know, sometimes better ideas come from taking that pause. Like for example, when I came back to that video, it's like, oh, wouldn't it be
Mm,
funny to do this instead of this? And I think it made the video 10 times better. And so
mm.
sometimes your creative juices just like get to percolating again after you take that momentary pause, however
You
long that pause might be.
you're absolutely right. I made the logo for Four Quarter Creative. When I was trying to force it, I mean, it was a nightmare. And I even had Shar make a mock-up of what I was
Mm,
describing in, like, I think Illustrator is what she used. It was either Illustrator or she used, like, Photoshop or After Effects, it was probably Illustrator, but she made a mock-up of the design that I had for the logo. She showed it to
mm.
me. It was terrible. It was horrific. This thing that I had been laboring over for days,
And sometimes
actually,
you
on
just gotta
paper, looked
see it
horrible.
in your
S
face to
sometimes you
to vision like yeah, and you
sometimes it's
realize this is
bad,
actually
and it's
not what I
okay.
wanted. Yeah.
Yes, and then after she showed it to me, I was like, "Oh, that's awful." We continue the conversation, I pull up Canva, I start messing around, and I created the logo that I was looking for. I simplified the whole process, and I'm really, really proud of the Four Quarter Creative logo because to me, it feels like the iconogram that I was trying to manifest. Whatever that thing
Nice.
was that I was brewing over originally was horrific. You'll never see it. It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah.
Um, but you, you didn't lie. You didn't lie. I
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta see it in person and be like, "This is not at all what my brain thought." I I am the type of way like you can tell from my facial expressions, like if I like something or I will never I just can't hide it. And so like my brother was helping me work on something, and I was just like sitting on the camera just like this, and I was like, he's like, "I can tell by your face you hate it." I'm like, "I
you hate
absolutely hate it. I don't I don't like
it.
this." And so, it's not like it's nice having like people that know you to like say like, "Hey, I did your vision for you." And you're just like, "Thank you so much for creating my vision. I absolutely hate it. And thank you for telling me that it's not good."
Yes. Thank you for telling me that it's bad. Thank you for showing me that it's
Yeah.
bad. But the only way
Yeah.
you're gonna know is if you see it through. You
Mhm.
have to do the thing. You have to finish the thing.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you'll just assume that it
Yeah.
doesn't meet your standards. And I mean, that's not the case.
Yeah,
In the same
exactly.
way that people assume, "Oh, I'm gonna put this out and no one's gonna like it." Why would you assume that? Just Try
You
it.
never know. The I it's probably my humor, but I feel like the stuff that I like is like the dumbest stuff ever, but it's hilarious. And so like to somebody else they might not find it funny, but like a lot of people find the dumb stuff funny. And so like you just have to find your niche and like you find your people, people will gravitate to the content that you put out. If you're I say this that they will gravitate if you are being your authentic self. If you're
Correct.
like putting on a show, there are the few ones that, put on a character and, go viral from that. But I would say the ones that have longevity and are most successful are the ones that are being the authentic self day in and day out and are not trying to like put on a show for you.
Yeah, they can't find you if they don't know you
Yeah.
exist. So you got to put the
Yep.
thing out there. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, make the thing. Ah,
Make the thing and be the best at that thing, whatever that thing may be. Be the best at that thing.
correct. Correct. And the best doesn't necessarily have to mean better than all these other people. Like be your
It's your
best
best.
at that thing. Um,
Yes.
Reaper, I appreciate you.
I had fun. This was I love this. Thank you so much for allowing me to come on and talk my shenanigans.
Of course. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your perspective, your experience. Just thank you for sharing you, not only with
Thank
me, but
you.
also with the audience. I appreciate you. Please plug yourself, plug all the things. Tell the people where and how they can find you, what you're working on, what you're manifesting.
Absolutely. So I my first love is Twitch streaming. I'm a video gamer at heart, and I always call myself BioWare's number one fan. And so you can find me on Twitch at any given point playing games like Dragon Age, Mass Effect, Knights of the Old Republic. I don't have a set schedule, like a specific day, just because, as I mentioned, I am a IRL doctor, and ER life is shift work, and it changes like every week. So most of the time you can catch me around 5:30 Pacific Standard Time on Twitch. I also am starting to grow my YouTube channel, and right now, starting to put playthroughs up there, and also coming up with streamer related content that I'm slowly starting to film, and will hopefully be releasing in the early spring of 2025.
Let's
That's my
go.
goal for release of that, and I'm also working on a super cool, my first time ever cosplay project for the release of one of the new video games that's coming up. So if you like cosplay and you want to see my journey, I will be filming that, and that will also go onto my YouTube channel. So I'm really excited about all the things that are coming up. I'm just grateful that I even get to do any of this stuff, and thank you for having me on your podcast.
Of course. I'm so excited. I just feel like I just I'm so ceaselessly inspired by you and our friends. And I, as much as I like love having these discussions, I hope that there are people who are watching and listening that are also just as inspired by the conversations that we're having. Because even if no one takes anything away, I'm taking so much away. So I appreciate you. Thank you,
Thank
friend.
you.
Ah,
I
alrighty,
loved it.
friends. Oh, your handle. Tell your
Oh,
handle.
oh, my handle, yes. It's Reaper228. It's two eyes. So if you ever are typing it in, you're like, is it an L? No, it's two eyes. Reaper2, like the Roman numeral, and the number 28. It's my socials across Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. I think that's all the socials that I have. Facebook. I have a Facebook page now, like
Oh.
random, but
I
so
forgot. You literally just mentioned that the other day. I was like, Facebook.
yeah.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm here.
It's a gaming page. I have zero things on it, but we're gonna grow that as well.
Yay! Hearty friends, I hope that you all have found this discussion helpful. In the comments, let us know what tips and tricks you're using in your own lives to get over analysis paralysis when it tries to interfere with your workflow, creative or otherwise. As always, transferring good energy, and until next time, bye.